So I just wanted to do an update on where my 3D printers are at. So I've got the front door mounted here, so I've got a couple of magnets there and a steel plate, so that opens and closes. We've got the clipper screen here, so that's pretty cool. Let's just home it, just as an example. Home all. So there you go, that's working. This here is a heatsink from an Intel NUC. Just because this motor gets a little warm because I'm running it fairly hot. Like, it's a 0.67 rated, 0.67 amp rated motor, and I'm running it at like 0.5 amps, but it still gets warm, which is fine because they're supposed to. But just because this is mounted on PLA, same as the other printer. It's got that same issue of the motors being mounted on PLA. This lead screw, well, these ones, so these ones have got the plastic nuts, I guess you'd call them, and they're not showing any signs of wear or anything at all. This one I've oiled up with just actual engine oil, and I don't know what that is. Like, it's probably the brass. I don't know why it's black, but I don't know. I'm hoping it's kind of just basically breaking itself in, perhaps, and then once it's kind of deburred itself, maybe it'll kind of clean up. I don't know, or maybe it'll just keep producing that black stuff until it wears out. Not sure what the life kind of expectancy of those is, but interesting. The plastic ones haven't kind of shown any plastic dust or anything. What else can I say about this? I've got a heatsink up there on the NEMA 17. I've shortened this up since the last video, so that's quite a nice short path. The extruder is okay, but it often does skip on the actual filament there. So this is like a Creality style extruder there, which normally mounts on a NEMA 17. And I've actually ordered a dual gear Creality style extruder, which is not an economical way to go, but I just, for some reason, really like this NEMA 14 motor geared down with the belt. I just think it's cool, so that's why I'm persisting with this setup. But yeah, so the dual drive replacement there will hopefully kind of sort any issues, because on my other printers I've got the kind of clone Bondtech extruders and absolutely never have any skipping issues, not at all. So yeah, dual drive's the way to go, I think. Made a lot of progress on my big printer, so it's Core XY now. I've just been getting it dialed in basically, so it's printing pretty nicely at the moment, pretty fast. It can go faster, but I don't know, I get a better quality when it's a little bit slower. So I think the maximum moved is like 200 millimeters per second at the moment. So we've got clipper screen, so that's pretty cool. Got the E3D heat sinks for stepper motor coolers. They don't get too hot, but basically just these mounts are PLA, so just don't want those to melt. That's the concern there. But I still need to put a back on it and neaten up the back of it. But I mean, it's printing, so yeah, very happy with the progress of this one. I'm also currently working on a better part cooling system, because I've just got that little fan. I'm going to be using one of the CPAP machine pumps, which should be good. So for the Z-axis, I've got a NEMA 23. I have a TMC 2160 external stepper driver, because that can provide a lot of current compared to the little stepper drivers that kind of link into the board. This is actually the control board from the K8200, so it's a very old, very basic board, but the great thing about Clipper is you can use whatever board. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome because that's just an Arduino based board, but yeah, does a great job obviously. The drivers for X and Y are just the A90, what is it, 98, I can't remember what, you know those really old standard kind of noisy drivers, so it's a little noisy, but I mean they can pump a fair bit of current, especially when you cool them well. So I've got a fan there which blows air over the drivers, which are kind of enclosed in there. I've got these wobble wings which are taken from the Hevort, heavily modified, but it's the same principle. So it's not the magnetic ones, but these ones actually have a little bearing in there and these little runners. So basically if there's any lead screw wobble, it's totally gone. So that's definitely not an issue with this printer, especially with the huge aluminium bed. It's like almost 10 millimeters thick. I've got a big 240 volt heater down there, which is controlled by a solid state relay. The bed is 600 by 350, so yeah, can print nice and big. And here is the third printer that I've got going at the moment, next to the CNC machine, which hasn't had a lot of use. So not a lot has changed with this one, but I have upgraded these carriages here for the idlers. Basically, the original ones, it was just a little idler which had the bearing inside, and that was on a M3 bolt. And the M3 bolt actually kind of disintegrated a little bit, and the bearings kind of slopped out a little bit, and yeah, basically I've retensioned the belt a couple of times and it was just, yeah, not great. So this new solution has got a bearing at the top and the bottom, and then a 5mm shaft which goes through, and then we've got these idlers just bolted on. So yeah, much more durable there. You can also see the quality difference. So this was done on the little printer upstairs, and 0.1mm layer height and 0.25mm nozzle, and obviously that looks amazing when you compare it to the original parts that I printed for this printer. So this was done on my old big printer, so you can see that it had the ball screw wobble issue there, which is now fixed with the wobble wings. But yeah, I've come a long way with the quality of the prints on these newer printers. So yeah, this has been an absolute workhorse. It's printed all the parts for the other two printers really, so a lot of filament has gone through this one. But yeah, still going strong.